Martinelli gives Arsenal the desired win that they've gone ahead to long for almost 7 years, because Arsenal last beat Man City in the Premier League in December 2015. By that time, Arsene Wenger was still the manager of Arsenal, and those goals were scored by Olivier Giroud and Theo Walcott. I think the result was 3-0 or 3-1. That was December of 2015, and ever since then, Arsenal had never gone ahead to even get a point from any of those games when ahead to play against Man City. And Arsenal have gone ahead to win this beautiful game of football by 1-0 in a game that has gone ahead to see this side take shape in a way that they are now top of Man City with 2 points. Things that Arsenal failed to do last season are the things I've gone ahead to do this season. And I would like to let you know that one will say, but Arsenal have gone ahead to draw with Tottenham Hotspur. They beat them last season. They went ahead, obviously, draw with Fulham, yet they beat Fulham last season. But there is what we call a mind block win, a mind block loss. And Arsenal losing to Man City at Emirates really took their mind into a desperate state. But right now, their win against Man City has gone ahead to energize their levels, and they are now a team that has seen itself really get to where they deserve to be, and they've gone ahead to win this beautiful game of football. And a goal has been scored by Kai Havertz, and the assist has gone ahead to Kai Havertz. Has been scored by Martinelli, and the assist has gone ahead to be rewarded to Kai Havertz. And Gabriel Martinelli. I did this story in the morning, and I told you that Gabriel Martinelli is returning, and I told you how important he could be. I told you the reasons why Arteta might start him or he might not start him. And obviously, I told you that he would be a very huge force to reckon with coming off the bench. And obviously, you saw to it that when he came on the field of play at the beginning of the second half, you saw to it that he obviously created what we call a spark and an outlet onto the left attacking side of the midfield, because it was obviously dead. In the first half, the right side was obviously active with Gabriel Jesus, but the side of Trossard was really off. Trossard had a very ugly game. In the first half, he was the player with the least number of touches on the field, on the ball, because he had only 8. That's why Arteta took him off, because things were not working out well for him, and he had nothing to do in that entire game, in the entire time that he spent on the head of play. But I would like to obviously congratulate all Arsenal fans all over the world. And remember, I told you in the match preview that if at all Arteta wants to win this game of football of Man City, he needs to either have a Thomas Partey or a Declan Rice in that midfield, or a Jorginho and a Declan Rice. That is it, because that helps you compact your midfield, and your energy working levels obviously increase to the level that you've gone ahead to see today. You've seen Jorginho running that pack. Even if Rodri was there and Kevin De Bruyne, he would have gone ahead to run it, because he's a press-resistant player. And he saw to it that it was very intentional that every ball that David Raya really got, he was looking for one player around the 18 box area of Arsenal. He was looking in for Jorginho. And this is where I obviously go ahead and credit Mikel Arteta. Arteta knew to it that the spark, all the main reason for him to obviously hold Man City to where he wants it to be, is going to be Jorginho. That's why he never played him in no minute in the game they played away at Lens. I was complaining for him, bringing him on, yet Arteta had a different plan altogether, and he showed you that the plan was for Jorginho to go on and obviously get hold of that game. After getting hold of it, I get in Thomas Partey, and obviously I add on to the physicality presence that Arsenal were having with Declan Rice, and add on Thomas Partey, and that was his plan. And secondly, one thing that most of you might not have noted is, if you remember the first goal that Arsenal conceded at Emirates in the Premier League in that game that ended 4-1, where Kevin De Bruyne was given a ball by Erling Haaland after, I think it was John Stones going long. It is the same goal that Arsenal have gone ahead to replicate to score against Man City. This time around, a long ball has been floated to Tomiyasu. Tomiyasu heads it to Kai Havertz. Kai Havertz controls it and sets it in a very good vicinity where Martinelli was. And Martinelli hit that ball, deflects off the head of Nathan Ake, and obviously it went into the back of the net. And that's exactly what I talked about in the match day live. If at all you're watching my live, that Arteta needs to surprise Pep Guardiola today. Pep Guardiola knew that Arteta is going to come with his ego and obviously say, let's pass them off the park. Have you seen how Arsenal have gone ahead to manage this game of football? The pace has been low. They've not gone ahead to obviously do those intricate quick passes. No, they are really playing at ease. You know, it was like they're in a training session, but they had a lot of numbers behind them. But every time they lost the ball, they could all run into their half to obviously put a low block to see to it that they block that side of Man City from obviously getting a line breaking pass. So it shows you that Arteta's going to have to learn a lot, that if at all Pep Guardiola can come in through and obviously beat you, not with his style, then you should also learn that you have to do the same. And that's what Arteta's going to have to do. And I think he can now come in through and obviously even go at Etihad and win that game, because he now knows exactly how to really juggle around things. You know, if you don't juggle around things like how Arteta's going to have to do and being one-dimensional, you cannot win this game of football. Because how many times have you seen Arsenal go long this season or the previous season than they've going to have to do today? This is the game I've seen Arsenal go long. Even David Raya, it was intentional to that. From the minute go, from the first minute, he was going long, either to find Jesus or Eddie Nketiah. But you saw to end that Eddie Nketiah is not good at winning the aerial balls, and his aerial prowess is really doubtful. And when Kai Havertz came on through, you saw to it that Kai Havertz could go in air with either Nathan Ake or Ruben Diaz to fight for those balls. And that's exactly what Arteta's going to hate to know about these games. And I told you that Kai Havertz is going to play a very huge role into this game. You remember that you get him on the bench and you go long and you win this game of football, because that back line of Man City is not good. The reason as to why their back line does not concede very many goals is simple. Man City spends the lion's share of the time on the field of play possessing that ball, and their manager believes that the best way to defend is to get hold of that ball and not allow your opponent to have the ball. That's what their manager believes in, and it has gone ahead to work him out. It has gone ahead to work out for him on several occasions. But even Arteta today just saw to it that he brought on 3 players on the field of play: John Stones, Jeremy Doku, and who else? He brought on 3, and Matthias Nunes. Then 6-7 minutes later, Arteta lifts up 3 players off the bench, Tomiyasu. And I sure this is what can give Arsenal the league, because last season in the game of Liverpool, it was just one substitution that was needed for Arsenal to win that game of football. Get Zinchenko off the field of play early enough and get on Kieran Tierney. And he didn't do that until when Arsenal went ahead to concede. That is it, the equalizer. Then this time around, he has gone ahead to know that Jeremy Doku is here. He's obviously going to come and obviously torment Zinchenko. And it was done intentionally by Pep Guardiola to bring on Jeremy Doku onto the side where Zinchenko was. And you saw to it that when they brought on Tomiyasu, Jeremy Doku shifted from the right and went to the left. You know, that is it. So Arteta got that right. The moment Jeremy Doku came on through and faced Zinchenko, though Zinchenko was successful on obviously defending him and he won that duel, Arteta got to know that in the next 2-3 minutes, it's not obviously going to be good for Zinchenko versus Jeremy Doku, and cannot win that battle. So he brought on Tomiyasu, another hard player, to obviously win it. And even when Jeremy Doku shifted to the right, Benny White obviously closed him down very well. And it shows you exactly what Arteta's gonna hate to learn in this beautiful game of football. But you have to credit Mikel Arteta that he has obviously gone ahead to obviously make a formidable force to obviously come against Man City. Man City, let me go to the stats before I even go elsewhere, because this is where everything really comes out to obviously be talked about. And let's go to the stats and obviously talk about this. Now, when you look at these stats, it shows you exactly how Arteta's gone ahead to figure out everything and obviously make it happen. 12 shots by Arsenal, Man City had 4. Though they had the most threatening of all at the beginning of the half time, that was headed off the line by Declan Rice. By the way, Talking about Declan Rice, you've seen the importance of Declan Rice into that team. And I told you that Declan Rice is the difference. Declan Rice, Kai Havertz, and Julian Timber are the difference of the Arsenal that lost the trophy last season to the Arsenal that might win the trophy this season, because Kai Havertz has always been slated by fans of Arsenal, but today he's responsible for that assist that has gone ahead to see Arsenal really win this beautiful game of football. Now, you see to it that they've gone ahead to have only 4 shots, Arsenal had 2 shots on target, and all of those have come in from Martinelli. That is it. And Man City had only 1 shot on target, right? 49% ball possession by Arsenal. Man City had 51% ball possession. 498 passes completed by Arsenal. Man City completed 521 passes. 86% passing accuracy by Arsenal. Man City had also 86% passing accuracy. Then 8 fouls committed by Arsenal and 7 fouls committed by Man City. 2 yellow cards gifted to Arsenal and 3 yellow cards gifted to Man City. 0 red cards to both sides, but trust me, there was a player who was really lucky on the field of play, and that was Kovacic. Kovacic was lucky on the day because he was obviously going to be red carded. Even the first foul that he made on Martin Odegaard, it's a red card. It's a straight red card that keeps him out for a very long time, three matches out. And it shows you that he was very lucky, because even the pundits that played for City have gone ahead and obviously emphasized it, that this man has been lucky on the day because he deserved to be sent off. He deserved to be sent off. And this is why I tell you that VAR is inconsistent. And even after he did that foul, he went ahead to do another foul on Declan Rice. And I think it was something that deserved him to be sent off. But he was not sent off. And let me show you the foul that he did on Declan Rice after taking another bad tackle onto the gaffer of Arsenal. You see, he was tackling the same area, and it looks like he was told to obviously do this intentionally. That is it. Because when you look at how he goes for Martin Odegaard, it's the same way he goes in for this guy. This is Declan Rice, and obviously it never went well for him and he was taken off. But he was really lucky on the day, and it shows you that the referee just did the needful. But VAR had to make these calls, because when you look at the red card that was given to this young boy at Liverpool that saw himself sent off in the game of Crystal Palace, is it Curtis Jones? This was worse. The one he did to Odegaard was worse, and he was not sent off. And I believe he desired to be sent off the field of play. That is a player called Declan Rice. So I 100% believe that things obviously go on the wrong way into the first half by the referee not giving Kovacic a red card. But obviously the Lord God goes ahead and obviously says no. Arsenal is doing this game of football, and Martinelli combines with Kai Havertz to obviously create a very good goal that saw Arsenal really lead, and they obviously went ahead to maintain that beautiful game of football. Now, 2 offsides to Arsenal, 0 offsides to Man City, 5 corners for Arsenal and 4 corners for the club of Manchester City. And the huge positive out of this game is that ever since this season started, Arsenal had not kept a clean sheet at home. But they've gone ahead to keep a clean sheet at home and against City. This is a confidentiality win. It shows you how far Arsenal have gone ahead to obviously master their craft. And David Raya on the day, he acted like how Andre Onana was acting when Man United was playing against Arsenal at that stadium. You know, he was obviously taking his time because he's press resistant, and he could obviously try to knock that ball around and keep it. Though David Raya on close to 3-4 occasions could have gone ahead to cost Arsenal a goal because he really looked ugly on the day. Arsenal have gone ahead to keep a clean sheet because of how they've gone ahead to shape up when they're obviously defending. We look at Declan Rice, the intensity, Jorginho, Odegaard, all those players tracked back very well, and they had numbers in the first third of the pitch. I remember a time when Raya really gifted away the ball near the 18 yards box of Arsenal, and the amount of bodies that swamped up Julian Alves, the amount of bodies dressed in Arsenal shirts that swamped up Julian Alves were really huge. And obviously it just kept him out of the position and couldn't obviously do something positive. And there was a cross that was brought in, and David Raya came out of his goal and couldn't obviously get it, because you cannot come out towards your 6 yards area and you don't punch out that ball. So David Raya has been ugly on the day, and I think Arteta is going to hate to understand it. But if at all it was a bad day for Arsenal, he would have gone ahead to cost Arsenal more and more and more. But a clean sheet is going to have to be kept by Arsenal at Emirates for the first time in the league. And Arteta has always gone ahead to get it right in the substitutions this time around. The substitutes have been on point and legit, and they've gone ahead to obviously see to it that he has gone ahead to get himself a win. That's why I told you that people will say we missed Bukayo Saka, but how many big games has Bukayo Saka gone ahead to shine? That is your huge question. That is it. Especially against City. You know, he scored a penalty last time when they're playing at Emirates, but did he influence the game? He couldn't. So games like this are games of fine margins, right? Where you just have to capitalize on your chances. I told you that a team that is going to come in through and obviously capitalize on its chances is obviously going to come in through and take this game away. Congratulations to Arsenal, and this is how the table really looks for those that really want to know where Arsenal is. If Arsenal had gone ahead to score 2 goals today, they would have gone ahead to obviously find themselves on top of the table, but Spurs is topping the Premier League table, and they've gone ahead to play 8 games, 6 wins, 2 draws, and they are the only 2 teams that have gone ahead to not lose a game this season. 0 losses, 18 goals scored, 8 goals conceded, goal difference of 10, 20 points. Arsenal having 8 games, 6 games won, 2 draws, 0 losses, 16 goals scored, 6 conceded, and 10 goal difference. And one will say, but we are having the same goal difference with Tottenham Hotspur. How come we are having the same 20 points and goal difference? And we are obviously second, and they are ahead of us. It's because of these goals. Tottenham was going to hate to score 18, and Arsenal have gone ahead to score 16. If it was the La Liga, they consider the head-to-head. That is it. So, when you look at that, it goes to that level. Man City, 8 games, 18 points. Liverpool, 8 games, 17 points. Aston Villa, 8 games, 16 points. Brighton, 8 games, 16 points. West Ham, 8 games, 14 points. Newcastle, 8 games, 13 points. Crystal Palace, 8 games, 12 points. Manchester United, 8 points. 8 games, 12 points. And Chelsea, 8 games, 11 points. When you look at the difference between the team that is obviously 4th, you know, for Man United, they are 4 points. They're 5 points behind Liverpool, right? And Chelsea, they're 6 points behind Liverpool. So it shows you that, as we always tell you, that the table always takes shape in the 10th match day. That is it. Now, the next 2 games are really crucial. You're going to see to it that the table is going to take shape to where we deserve to. But you see the competition that is really stiff in the top 10, and Arsenal have gone ahead, obviously, top the table. So, guys, thank you very much for watching through. That has been my match reaction. Arsenal 1, Man City 0. Arsenal have gone ahead to capitalize on their chance. Gabriel Martinelli coming off the bench. What a way to return back from injury, because he had not scored in 12 games for the club and country, you know, and he has now gotten himself a goal, and I think that's going to create a very huge spark in between him and the team of Arsenal. What a way that Arsenal is going to hate to win this game of football. I sign out for now. See you later, and I cover you all in the precious blood of Jesus Christ. May the living to God bless you abundantly, and for the Muslims, Barak Laufikum.